Yes! That was totally it. I'm never playing this game again. The only other thing is that I probably would not use this as my main arcade stick. Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. Wasn't actually planning on making a video today, but I decided to jump into a little bit of King of Fighters 2002. I never actually learned a lot about the combos and how this game mechanics work in this version of the game. So I've decided to look up on the wiki a lot of stuff that you expect to be able to do at any time in other fighting games. In this game you have to activate max mode, and if you've got 5 gauges or 4 gauges or 3 gauges, it changes what kind of stuff you can do. So at the moment I've got 4 gauges available. So I can do my ultra super special missed. Don't know if I can do it like this. Yeah. I think maybe as long as you've got your life is at the lower end of the range and all that. But even stuff like the timing on this move here. So it's got these moves that you have to do like 1, 2, 3 in order to do these moves. But this one here with the strong punch, you have to go down forward punch, then forward down back. At the end of this, you go 1, 2, and then at the end you have to do a DP. And I can't get the DP to come out. There. I have to delay it longer than I was expecting that I would have to. Also, this stick is really loud, these buttons. Because the body of this SNK Arcade Stick Pro is so hollow. It makes so much noise just with these buttons because it's so loud. There we go, got it. Combos don't feel quite as fluid as they do in Street Fighter, or they don't come quite as naturally. So you have to kind of, it's not that it's not as natural, it's just it feels different to Street Fighter, so I'm trying to get used to this. So I'm on the Dream Cancel Wiki. Let's just go through these standard combos. Apparently you can just mash B here. I can get actually a 4th one if I'm, well, standing apparently. There we go, got the 4th one. It is really loud. The buttons are really loud on this controller. It's really hurting my ears. Then I can go crouching B, standing A, into a DP. I think this is probably, oh nope. I think this is probably the most common one that I'll be doing. I did it wrong anyway. There we go, 3-hit combo. You have to be quite close up in this game. You can't really start combos from far away. You gotta be like quite close. See? Because you don't have medium buttons in this game, so it's like all the combos start from, you gotta be like right up in your opponent's face. So yeah, join me for the difficulty that is King of Fighters, because it's got a reputation for being a difficult game, but it turns out I never really sunk my teeth into KOF. I always played it as a kid, but you know, I just did a move from far away. I'd be like full screen and I'd do like an RED kick from like full screen. That was basically what the sort of player I was. I'd be like, I'm gonna back up and then I'm gonna do some move that travels almost full screen. That's how I'm gonna play this game. Every now and then I'm just gonna do a random DP in your face. The idea of like comboing into this stuff, like, it never occurred to me as a child. I haven't really learned to play properly. And it feels good to learn a little bit about KOF. So heavy punch into this move. And I can't do the DP at the end. There we go. Alright, what's this one? So crouching C. A lot of these moves start with a crouching heavy punch. I think in order to get enough hits done, it looks like you gotta start with the heavy button. This is using the 2-part kick. So I got 3 hits after that, and then what do I finish up with? Half circle back B. No way. That's gonna look cool. Yeah, that looks amazing. And then after that, quarter circle forward A. Does that work normally on its own? Ooh. Maybe I get more juggle since he's in the air. Let's try this. Oh yeah, I'll get loads of extra juggle time. Oh no! So what I'm finding difficult right now is that I have to wait till the previous animation finishes before I can input the next move. That's making the timing really difficult. I always want to press the button really early. I'm so used to the Street Fighter V buffer. I'm spoiled. Whoa! Almost. Oh no! Ah! If I can land this, it's gonna look so cool. Yes! Got it! That looks so cool because he's like juggling up in the air for so long. It's funny because this is kind of the beginning of anime fighters. It's closer to an anime fighter than it is to Street Fighter with all this air juggling. I mean, I'm not making any sense, but that's how it feels to me. This one says it's a corner combo only. So get him into the corner. This is so hard. What? We need to catch him right when he's on the ground. Nah, well, I did all the inputs, but I didn't actually do the combo. I'm gonna do this. Was that almost it, but I did the wrong one at the end? Was that it? Was that it? But I didn't do the... No, I didn't do that final part of it. Yes! That was totally it. Oh, man. Okay, so it's actually probably not as hard as I thought it was, but getting used to the timing in this game is no joke. Let's see if I can do it again. The main thing that I'm finding so difficult is that you're not like able to enter the buttons too early. You really do have to wait until the recovery animation is like not finished, but you know what I mean, like until it's had its time. No! Alright, desperate times come to call for desperate measures. I'm gonna go and get the rubbery pads. Alright, I found it. Had to look pretty hard. I don't think this is going to really help a whole lot. Alright, let's do this. Nope. No! I did it too early. Nah, I almost had it, but I didn't finish it. Trying to delay the lost kick. That one there. Oh, that was so close. No, it's not working. I'll do it. Yes! That was definitely it, because it definitely said 7. I'm never playing this game again. I wasn't really planning on making a video today. I was just testing out the... Basically, I put a Sanwa stick into the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, but it's not 100% finished. Like, the plug shape isn't quite correct, so it's kind of balanced inside the stick right now. It's actually not snug plugged in properly, so this mod's not really complete today. But I was just trying out a bit of 2002, and I was like, you know what, I really wished I understood how combos felt and worked in this game. And it's really satisfying, but it's definitely, because it's not Street Fighter, because you don't have medium moves, you always have, I feel like all the combos have to start with you like right in your opponent's face. Just a few more thoughts about the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro, which has just come out here in Japan. I think it's coming out quite soon in the West as well. I have tried to plug in my other arcade stick. Actually, the video I was trying to make today was I was plugging in the Pantera here. And I got this adapter that I thought might work because it works for the Neo Geo Mini console, but it didn't. I couldn't find a way to make it work with this. I updated the firmware and it wasn't quite working with that. So, if you want to plug other controllers into this to play 2-player, you're going to need 2 of these Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pros, or you're going to need this and to plug in one of those SNK mini controllers. The other thing is the Sanwa Arcade Stick. This is a Sanwa JLF stick that I've just modded in here, but the plug shape is a little bit different, so I'll make a separate video about it, but like this is the size of the plug shape on the Sanwa JLF, and it's slightly smaller for the PCB inside the Arcade Pro here. I'll have to show you in a separate video, but there's actually 4 screw holes that are not being used for anything else in this arcade stick, and it turns out those 4 screw holes are for putting in something like the Sanwa, which has a different shape base plate to the one that actually comes as default. So it's like they expect you to put a Sanwa stick in here to replace the one that was already there. I haven't replaced these buttons, but I think either way, these buttons or Sanwa buttons, it doesn't really matter what buttons you put in here. If they're not silent, they're going to be really loud. And it started to it was really hurting my ears, so actually the only way for me to be able to finish making today's video was actually to put my headphones on. And there's one more thing that I want to share with you. This is the side panel of the control stick. And because all four of these start, select, options, turbo, because they're all the same shape, you have to like run your fingers over them to figure out which one you're pressing. So you'll be like, I want to press start, so I'm just going to run my finger over and press start. Or I need to press options, I'm going to run my finger over from the bottom, skip turbo, and I'm going to press option. Here's the issue though. When you slide your finger from the top to press the start button, you can accidentally switch from game mode into arcade stick only mode. And unfortunately, I'll just show you now. If you're running your finger over here to get to the start button and you brush past this button here, which is what I did earlier, that's what happens. So I'll just switch it back on there. There we go. And then you end up here at the menu screen. So one thing I would change is I would change this power switch, because essentially that's what this is. This switches you from video game console mode to arcade stick only. When you switch arcade stick only, you turn off the console. So that's a little frustrating. I might have to put some tape over the top of this button so I don't accidentally press it. But apart from that, it feels really nice actually. And by the way, I forgot to mention, you need to put these rubber feet on it so that when you're on a table, it doesn't shift around. And they're very good rubber feet. Once you put them on, it won't shift around on the table at all. Unfortunately, it's not all over the bottom, which means that when it's on your lap, even if it's got those rubber feet, it still does slip a little bit. So what I might do is put some nice long rubber pads that run all along the bottom, all over the bottom, so it doesn't slip around on my lap. The only other thing is that I probably would not use this as my main arcade stick. If you plug this cable into a PlayStation, you're actually going to need an adapter. This only works for the games that are built in or for PC. But if you want to play on a PlayStation, you're going to need the PlayStation adapter. I don't know how much that costs, but I think it might be kind of pricey. And here's the thing, even if I do get that adapter for the PlayStation, this thing is just way too loud. It's like, because it's plastic, it's not quite as annoying as the Victrix, because the Victrix is made of like aluminium, and so it really pings in your ear. This, it doesn't ping, but it is just really loud because this is basically hollow plastic. So I don't know, I could work on some acoustic insulation by sticking a bunch of gummy pads on the inside of this stick, but just know that if you're thinking of using this, buying this as a cheap arcade stick, and then when you're not using it as a console, using it as your main arcade stick, one, you're going to need an adapter to plug it into a PlayStation. Two, it's really loud because there's a big hollow stick. The nice thing about being hollow though is that it's nice and it's light. And also just size-wise, can you see, this is just a really nice, it's just a really nice size. So easy to carry around. Stick easy to mod, it's just the cable's a bit weird. I'll show you in a separate video, but the cable, you're going to need a special cable to plug it into the PCB. So I've literally just pulled off the connector and I've just like jabbed them into the PCB. That's why it currently works right now, but I don't think it's gonna last. Like, they could fall out at any moment. Anyway, that's all for today. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share the links and all that great stuff. And I highly recommend getting into some of these older King of Fighters games and just learning the mechanics and how it felt. Like, this is a generation when fighting games really were quite precise, and they're like, more recently you can basically put your inputs in way too early, or you can press the buttons way too early or a little bit too late and it will still work. But in these older games, they're a little bit more strict with the timing. Anyway, it's not impossible, but it's a lot of fun actually, and it's very satisfying. It's a type of satisfaction that you don't get from some of the more recent games. Anyway, I'm probably going to play a lot more of KOF2002. To be honest, maybe I'd be better off just practicing on the PC version because I've got unlimited match on PC. But it's so convenient. You just plug in the HDMI cable, plug it into your TV, and you're ready to go. King of Fighters. And you've got like, what is it, 5 or 6? 6 different versions of King of Fighters that you can enjoy. That's all for now. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, share links tonight, all that great stuff, and I'll see you in the next NihongoGamer video.